Hello, I am a stand-up critic and let's talk about John Huston. One of cinema's greatest directors, John Huston's career spans from the early 40s to the late 80s, with masterpieces like The Maltese Falcon, Treasure of Sierra Madre, The African Queen, and so many other films that it would be impossible to name them all. Basically, he could do no wrong. That is, except for the 1980 film Phobia. Yeah, this was considered to be the low point in John Huston's career. All of his talent was completely wasted in this poorly written, poorly acted, and even poorly directed horror excrement that has no redeeming values. So, let's take a look at the film that almost ruined John Huston's career. This is Phobia.
I'm getting a little hot. Listen to what I'm saying, Doc.
We open with a man trapped in a room that's getting smaller, kinda like how people felt when watching this film in the cinema.
Stop it, for Christ's sake, Doc, stop it! Help me! Help me! Help me!
As if that wasn't weird enough, we see several people in front of a screen projecting their worst fears.
You're running for your life.
No, you have to get
They're going to catch you, Laura.
Don't touch me! No! Let me go!
My god, this is a stream of exploitation films. It turns out that these tests are being run by Dr. Ross, played by Starsky from Starsky and Hutch.
In the treatment, I compel the patient to confront the source of their phobia at increasing intensities, flooding them with their anxiety in order to get them beyond it, back to a more reasonable perception of reality.
I don't know. Showing these films containing the patient's worst fears is kind of stupid when you think about it.
May I ask how you arrived at your theory?
When I was a child, I was afraid of the water. I didn't want to learn to swim because of it. And finally, one day, my father threw me in the water. And I swam. Plus of therapy.
In other words, my father tried to kill me.
I am intrigued by your research. Well, as a psychoanalyst, I am concerned with the unconscious motivation. Now, what happens to that?
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think anybody's ever found the unconscious.
Really? Are you sure that Sigmund Freud wasn't telling the truth?
Good luck.
Dr. Ross takes one of the patients for a test outside the clinic.
What if I panic?
You won't. You're the most advanced in the group. You'll face your phobia head on. You take the subway and you go downtown, you buy yourself something. And after you've bought something, you ought to come straight to my house. I'm going to be there all afternoon trying to catch up with our research.
But he realizes that he can't stay at home because he has a hockey match to play. Fun fact, the actor Paul Michael Glaser did direct a film about hockey called The Cutting Edge. Meanwhile, Barbara confronts her claustrophobia by going into the most overcrowded subway station ever. Maybe if we keep some distance between us, we'll be able to get out of this situation.
I'm controlling my fear. They mean nothing to me. Controlling my fear. Panic. They mean nothing to me. I won't panic. I won't let them stop me. I won't panic. I'll find my way. I won't panic. I don't know where I am. I won't panic.
This fear is causing me to repeat words, to repeat words, to repeat words, to repeat words, to repeat words. She can't take it anymore and decides to go to Dr. Ross's house sooner than expected.
You just look after yourself here and I'll be back in a jiffy.
Let's see what secrets are in here. Ross is informed of the murder and heads to the police department.
What surprises me is that you don't seem to realize that it was supposed to be you in that drawer downstairs. And you better start thinking about who wants you dead. You're somebody's target.
They don't have any suspects and Ross spends the night at Jenny's house, his girlfriend.
Why didn't you tell me about her?
Why talk about something that has no importance now? Why clutter up the present with the past?
He just found out that he's going to direct The Running Man.
Be careful. Let's be careful.
Dr. Ross, how do you feel?
What do you mean?
Well, you're lucky to be alive after all.
3 news reporters. Word of mouth gets round pretty quickly.
It was a bomb. No doubt at all. Those files were a booby trap. Now, but I'm not here to pry into your private affairs. I'm here to try to save your life. You mind?
Ah, the 80s. Back when you could still smoke in a hospital.
I miss those days.
Of course, as far as I'm concerned, the prime suspects are your experimentees. I'm going to stick with them, at least until I'm satisfied that they're ruled out.
So we meet the other patients who are Big Bald Man, French Woman, Cool Kid John Leguizamo, and Popeye the Sailor Hat.
So she would have been here today and
Bubba King,
you wouldn't.
ex-boxer, armed robbery, killed his wife's lover.
She still has the hots for him. I seen the way she's looking at him.
Johnny Venuti, Grand Theft Auto.
It turns out that these people are actually criminals who offer themselves up for this experiment in exchange for parole.
We mustn't let them shut us down.
Could they do that?
There is a possibility. Henry.
You're coming with me.
The commissioner takes the bald guy to a police station where he is given the typical police treatment.
We're not interested in what you mean here. This is a police station, not a hospital. I reckon you can tell the difference by now.
If you're the police, where are your badges? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. And stop quoting Sierra Madre.
Give me a phobia?
Back in the hospital, Ross has the sailor confront his biggest fear.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Touch it. Just once.
I touched the snake. I'm invincible.
Very good, Bubba. Very good. Tomorrow we'll try again.
Only this time we'll try with a viper to see how long you can resist its poison.
This is the park where Barbara was walking yesterday, isn't it?
Barbara?
Is that going to be her epitaph? She was a good patient.
Jenny. Sweetheart, I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist. One must keep one's objectivity.
Objectivity? That's such a callous word, Peter. A woman was killed yesterday. Don't you feel any pain?
It's normal, darling. All doctors are trained not to show any emotion.
You, Owens, come on.
The bald guy goes crazy and escapes, leading to a car chase through the streets of Toronto. Oh, but you can see the shadow of the camera crew! You should have picked a better time of day to shoot it. He runs up the building and ends up in this, well, position, despite his fear of heights.
Now he's up there and says he'll jump if I or any of my men comes near him. All he wants is to talk to you.
Peter, be careful.
Give credit to the stuntmen who agreed to do this scene at this height. Even I couldn't do it.
Fuck you! I'm jumping!
Do you really want to jump? Do you want to? Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to live. I'm stupid. Instant regret.
Peter, you did everything you could yesterday.
That means with a few more treatments, I might have had him cured.
It's not your fault, Peter. You can't blame yourself.
I'm not blaming myself.
Now he's getting emotional.
I have to forget Henry. I have to go back to work with the others.
Look, a good shot. At least John Huston's talent is still shining through in this third of a film. Now there are more news reporters. The story is getting bigger.
Henry Owen killed himself because he was guilty.
Guilty of what?
Of making an attempt on your life and killing Mrs. Gray instead.
The officials consider the case closed and Ross resumes his treatment, starting off with the French woman.
That's you, Laura.
Ever wonder who was behind the making of these drug-induced scenes? How do you think Ross told the actors how to perform? Oh, right. I want you to act horny as if this was some sadistic ritual. Don't ask why. I have a very specific vision. She can't take it and has a panic attack. Can't say blame her, I mean, how would you react to such an experiment? And so they take her for a nice quiet bath.
Now sit back. Atta girl. Sit back.
I like how the bathtub filled up very quickly in just one cut. It's one of those ellipsis bathtubs.
I think you're gonna be all right.
Sure, leave your patient all alone. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to her. The real murderer is still out there, so the police arrest the remaining patients, but the cool kid has escaped.
He's gone. Either he or this one here murdered Laura, and I'm gonna nail one or the other if I have to tear them both to bits.
Ross gets a phone call from Tom Kirk Cameron Hanks and tells him to meet in Jenny's house.
I can't. I'd kill myself first. I'm not kidding.
Oh, don't worry, please. Why don't you sit down?
Apparently, he was so anxious that the background changed.
Oh, God almighty. Come on, Doc. I can't wait all night.
I'm sure he's coming as fast as he can.
Oh, Jesus.
The kid tries to escape again and hides on top of the elevator.
Somebody stop the elevator, please.
Somebody please stop the elevator!
How about escaping through the gaps? They're big enough to fit through and the elevator isn't that fast. Ross arrives too late and the inspector also suspects him.
Why were you so late arriving at Miss Sinclair's? You should have been there before us. Maybe you were.
I'd hoped to be.
You had instruction in demolition. You could have killed Barbara.
Are you accusing me of murder?
I'm accusing you of being the future director of Kazam.
Your program is finished. There will be no further experiments with implosion therapy in this hospital.
The experiments are suspended as Popeye is to be sent back to prison, but one of the nurses suspects something.
How was Peter last night? Johnny's death must have affected him terribly.
I saw it when he told me about the death of his sister.
I didn't even know he had one.
What?
She drowned. He tried to save her, but he couldn't.
How old was he at the time?
7, I think.
That's why he's afraid of water. And when his father threw him in, forcing him to swim, he must have seen it as a punishment.
Go on.
He blames himself for his sister's death. He feels like a criminal. His patients are criminals. And they're guilty too.
No, that can't be possible.
Where is Peter?
He went down to see Baba King to say goodbye.
That's right. In this M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, it's revealed that Ross was the killer the whole time. And he has also murdered the sailor with an actual venomous snake. But it also begs the question, how could he possibly predict that Barbara would try and look at her own files? That was a 1,000,000 to 1 chance. He also didn't expect the fat guy to escape custody and start the car chase. That was his own doing. And how did he know that the kid was on top of the elevator for him to turn it on and then run back to the car without being seen? But like I said, this is a typical M. Night Shyamalan plot twist.
Peter, you don't know what you're saying.
I gave him a chance. I built this room for them. I gave them the rooms. I gave them the screens. I gave them the images. They wouldn't get better. They wouldn't swim, so they had to drown.
Haven't you ever learned the art of patience? You spend thousands of dollars on research only to cure your own patients without waiting a bit longer or trying different experiments for better results. It's like when parents punish their kids for not understanding their homework instead of helping them.
All I had to say to Henry was look down. And Laura trusted me.
See, Mr. Gitz, most people never have to face the fact that at the right time and the right place, they're capable of anything.
Give me the gun, please.
Ross has no intention of giving himself up to the police and ends his own life with the most poorly acted suicide ever. And that was Phobia, the most embarrassing thing that John Huston has ever done since co-directing that James Bond parody. I just don't get what he was trying to do here. The execution is terrible, the acting is not very good, there are several noticeable continuity errors, and the character's fears and motivations are not fully explored. Most notably with Dr. Ross, as he is not a well-defined or developed character. Even the shock value is not very shocking. I'm only glad that John Huston was still able to make good films after this, because it was a huge misstep. I am a standard critic, and thanks for watching.